Let's look at Chapter 2. What is the penalty for driving without insurance in Ontario? The penalties for driving without insurance are quite severe. The penalties for driving without insurance are found in Section 2, Subsection 3 of the Compulsory Automobile Insurance Act, and you can click ontario.ca to find exactly how it's written in the law. Now, here's a summary of the penalties with a drive no insurance charge. The fines. For a first-time conviction, the minimum fine is $5,000 and the maximum fine is $25,000. Now, for subsequent convictions, if you have previous convictions on a no insurance charge, then the minimum fine is $10,000 and the maximum fine is $50,000. You can also get a license suspension for up to 1 year, and you can get a vehicle impoundment up to 3 months. And with all the fines, the province also adds what's called a victim surcharge, which is equal to 25% of the fine amount. So for example, with a $5,000 fine, the total fine will be $6,250, and with a fine of $50,000, the fine will be $62,500. The prosecution must ask for these minimum fines with a conviction. So if you're convicted with a drive without insurance, the prosecutor has to follow the rules regarding the penalty. And this means that the prosecutor will be seeking fines that start at $5,000 for a first offense, $10,000 minimum for subsequent offenses. Now, your insurance rates will also dramatically increase when you're convicted of driving without insurance, because your insurance company will place you in what's called a high-risk category. And the impact of being high risk will be dramatic insurance rate increases. Now, can you go to jail for driving without insurance? And the answer is no. Under the Compulsory Automobile Insurance Act, you cannot go to jail for driving without insurance. Now, how many points do you get for driving without insurance? And the answer is none. There are no demerit points associated with a driving no insurance conviction. So why are the penalties for driving with no insurance so harsh? And the answer is the penalties are severe because driving without insurance in Ontario is considered what's called a public safety offense. And here's what that means. A typical car weighs about 4,000 pounds or 1,800 kilograms. That is a lot of weight to be moving on a set of wheels. So don't think of it as a car anymore. Think of your vehicle as a weapon, a 4,000-pound weapon that can kill a person, that can put someone in a wheelchair, or that can cause property damage. Now, in the context of driving a 4,000-pound weapon, the Ontario lawmakers made a public policy decision. They do not want people driving a vehicle without insurance. Doing so poses a real danger to society. And again, remember thinking of this as a 4,000-pound weapon. Because driving without insurance is considered a danger to the public, the lawmakers treat this charge differently and more harshly than a typical traffic ticket. And this is more serious than a regular traffic offense. Severe penalties are given because the lawmakers only want people to drive that follow the rules of the road, and creating harsher punishments sends a very strong message to the public that society will not accept driving without insurance. So yes, the province will charge you with incredibly severe penalties and fines. And yes, the lawmakers know this is harsh. And yes, the lawmakers know that you might not be able to absorb the cost of these penalties. And if you are convicted with these penalties, then you lose your ability to feed yourself and your family. So yes, the lawmakers know that, but that is a price you will pay when you pose a risk to the public.